You folks need to leave right now.
Officer, we're just eating lunch. We just ordered. What do we do?
I've had complaints. You're causing a disturbance. You need to vacate the premises.
What?
A disturbance? We're sitting here with our kids. Who complained?
I have to check. That's not your concern. This is ridiculous.
Honey, please.
Leave voluntarily or this becomes an arrest situation.
The bell above Betty's diner gives its familiar jingle as the door swings open on a Sunday morning. Sunlight filters through streaked windows, catching dust particles in the air. The smell of coffee and bacon grease hangs heavy. Vinyl booths line the walls, their red surfaces cracked from decades of use. At the counter, a flat-top grill hisses steadily, eggs sizzling in pools of butter. In the third booth from the back sits the Henderson family. Dr. Marcus Henderson, a pediatric surgeon, sits on the inside, his wife Angela across from him. She's a corporate attorney, though this morning she's just a mother watching her children enjoy their pancakes. 9-year-old Tyler traces patterns in spilled syrup, while 7-year-old Maya hums softly, her legs swinging beneath the table. The morning feels ordinary. Church ended an hour ago. The after-service crowd fills most of the booths, families in their Sunday clothes, conversations mixing with the clink of silverware on ceramic plates. The Hendersons had been here twice before without incident. This is their neighborhood diner, or at least that's what they thought. Officer Keith Morrison's body camera activates with a soft beep as he steps out of his patrol car. The lens captures his point of view, the diner's weathered sign, the half-full parking lot, the door with its brass handle worn smooth. He'd received a call about a disturbance at 12:30 p.m. The dispatcher's voice had been routine. Possible disturbance at Betty's diner. Caller reports disruptive patrons. Morrison had 14 years with the Lakewood Police Department. He considered himself a professional, someone who responded to calls efficiently and maintained order. What the department records didn't emphasize were the 23 complaints filed against him over 12 years, each one alleging discriminatory enforcement against minorities in public spaces. Each complaint had been reviewed by internal affairs and dismissed. Morrison had learned that as long as he claimed to be responding to business owner requests, his actions would be defended. The body camera footage shows Morrison entering the diner. The bell jingles. Conversations continue. A waitress glances up from pouring coffee, her hand pausing mid-pour when she notices the uniform. Morrison's eyes scan the room systematically, passing over white families eating breakfast, an elderly couple sharing toast, teenagers clustered in a corner booth. Then his gaze lands on the Henderson family, the only black customers in the restaurant. The camera captures Morrison's approach, the angle slightly unsteady as he walks. His boots create a steady rhythm against the tile floor. The background noise doesn't change. The grill still hisses. Someone laughs at a nearby table. A child asks for more orange juice. But something shifts in the quality of the air around the Hendersons' booth. Dr. Henderson notices first. The camera shows him from Morrison's perspective as the doctor sets down his fork carefully, his movements deliberate. He nudges the syrup bottle away from the table's edge. His wife follows his gaze, her posture straightening. The children sense the change without understanding it. Maya stops humming. Tyler's finger freezes in the syrup. "Folks," Morrison says. The body camera's microphone picks up every nuance of his voice. Flat, professional, carrying an edge of authority that makes it clear this isn't a friendly check-in. "I need you to gather your things and leave the premises." The statement hangs in the air. At a nearby booth, an elderly woman's fork pauses halfway to her mouth. The waitress, whose name tag reads Sarah, stops mid-step, coffee pot still in hand. Dr. Henderson's voice is measured, careful. "Officer, is there a problem? We're just having breakfast with our kids." Morrison shifts his weight. The camera angle adjusts, leather creaking. "We received a complaint about a disturbance." The establishment has requested you leave. Angela leans forward slightly. Her legal training surfaces in her tone, though the camera catches the tremor in her hands. A disturbance? Officer, we've been sitting here quietly for 20 minutes. Can you tell us specifically what someone said we did? That's not your concern, Morrison replies. The camera records his hand moving to rest on his duty belt, a gesture that's both casual and threatening. You need to exit the premises now, or this becomes a trespassing situation. Tyler's small voice cuts through. Dad, what's happening? The camera doesn't capture the boy's face, but it records Dr. Henderson's response. The way his jaw tightens, the way he reaches across the table to place a protective hand near his son's shoulder. It's okay, buddy. There's just some confusion, but it isn't confusion, and everyone in the diner knows it. The camera pans slightly as Morrison takes another step closer to the booth, his body language narrowing the family's space. Other diners have stopped eating now. A teenage girl in the corner has her phone out, though Morrison doesn't notice. His focus remains fixed on the Henderson family. Sir, I'm not going to ask again, Morrison says. Stand up and leave, or I'll be forced to remove you. Before Dr. Henderson can respond, a voice calls out from behind the counter. Officer Morrison, what the hell is going on? The body camera swivels as Morrison turns. The lens captures Bill Thompson emerging from the kitchen, wiping his hands on a towel. Thompson is 67, white, the owner of Betty's Diner for 30 years. The camera shows his face clearly, confusion shifting rapidly to alarm as he takes in the scene. Mr. Thompson, Morrison says, his tone shifting slightly, becoming more deferential. I received a call about a disturbance. I'm handling it. Thompson walks closer, his footsteps quick. The camera follows his movement. A disturbance? From who? I've been in the back for 10 minutes and nobody told me about any problem. A customer called it in, Morrison replies. The camera stays steady on Thompson's face. These people need to leave your establishment. Thompson looks past Morrison to the Henderson family. The camera captures the moment his expression changes, from confusion to recognition to something harder. Dr. Henderson? Mrs. Henderson? He turns back to Morrison. Have they caused any problems? No, sir. Dr. Henderson's voice carries clearly on the recording. We ordered food. We've been sitting here eating. We haven't bothered anyone. Thompson's hands tighten on the towel. Then there's no disturbance, officer. They're paying customers, and they're welcome here. The body camera records Morrison's response, the way his shoulders square, his voice dropping to a lower register. Mr. Thompson, I'm responding to a complaint from your establishment. If you don't support law enforcement's efforts to maintain standards in your business— Standards, Thompson interrupts. The camera catches his face reddening. What standards are you talking about? The standard of treating people with respect, the standard of not judging customers by their skin color. The diner has gone completely silent now. The grill still hisses, but no one speaks. No forks clink against plates. Even the children have stopped moving. The body camera's microphone picks up every breath, every small sound magnified by the tension. Sir, I'm going to advise you to reconsider your position, Morrison says. His voice carries a warning. The police department has a good relationship with local businesses. You wouldn't want that to change. The threat is unmistakable. The camera records it in perfect clarity, not just the words, but the tone, the implication that cooperation means participating in discrimination. Thompson steps between Morrison and the Henderson family. The camera shows his back as he positions himself deliberately, creating a physical barrier. Officer Morrison, I'm the owner of this diner. These customers have done nothing wrong. They're staying. I'm asking you to leave my establishment. The body camera captures Morrison standing there, the moment stretching. His breathing is audible through the microphone, quick and shallow. His hand hovers near his radio. Then he speaks, his voice tight. "This is a mistake. You'll regret this decision." The camera records his turn, his walk toward the exit. The bell jingles as he pushes through the door. Through the window, the lens catches him pausing by his patrol car, speaking into his radio, his face tight with anger. Inside the diner, someone starts clapping. Then another person. The sound builds. Thompson turns back to the Henderson family, and the body camera footage, retrieved later through subpoena, shows them still sitting frozen in their booth, Maya with tears streaming down her face, Tyler gripping his father's hand. What Morrison didn't realize in that moment was that his body camera had recorded everything, every word, every gesture, every moment of racial profiling captured by his own equipment. And when he returned to his patrol car and uploaded the footage to the department's secure server at the end of his shift, he sealed his fate with the very technology meant to protect him. The Henderson family filed their complaint 3 days later. Angela Henderson, using her legal expertise, requested all relevant evidence, including Morrison's body camera footage. What she saw matched exactly what she'd experienced, but now it was documented in high-definition video with crystal-clear audio. The footage revealed something Morrison's written report had concealed. He'd claimed the family left voluntarily after he explained a complaint. He'd made no mention of Thompson contradicting him, no mention of his threats against the business owner, no mention that the family had been entirely peaceful. Civil rights organizations filed Freedom of Information requests for all of Morrison's body camera footage from similar calls. They found a pattern. Over 3 years, Morrison had activated his camera for 89 business disturbance calls. 73 involved complaints about people of color. The footage showed Morrison making immediate assumptions, threatening arrests for vague violations, forcing people to leave despite business owners saying there was no problem. In 12 other cases where complaints had been filed against Morrison, his body camera hadn't been activated. No video evidence existed for interactions witnesses described as discriminatory. The pattern was clear. The U.S. Attorney's Office opened a federal civil rights investigation. This wasn't just one incident. Morrison's body camera footage from multiple interactions showed systematic discrimination. Federal prosecutors charged him with conspiracy to deprive civil rights and deprivation of rights under color of law. The trial lasted 3 weeks. The jury watched Morrison's body camera footage from Betty's Diner on courtroom monitors. They saw from his own perspective how he targeted the Henderson family, ignored their explanations, threatened them. Then they watched footage from 17 other incidents showing the same pattern. 47 victims testified. Bill Thompson described Morrison's threatening behavior. Statistical experts presented data on selective enforcement. The body camera footage contradicted every defense Morrison offered. The verdict came after 2 days of deliberation, guilty on multiple counts. Morrison was sentenced to 3 years and 10 months in federal prison. His sergeant, charged as a co-conspirator for enabling the behavior, received 18 months after pleading guilty. The civil lawsuit settled for $1. $8 million. The city agreed to mandatory reforms, independent civilian oversight, comprehensive bias training, mandatory body camera activation with severe penalties for non-compliance, and demographic data collection on all business-related enforcement actions. Today, Betty's Diner displays a sign by the door, "All are welcome here." The Henderson family returns, sometimes sitting in the same booth. Tyler is in high school now. Maya is in middle school. They order pancakes, and the flat top still hisses the same way it did that Sunday morning. Dr. Henderson still notices when officers enter restaurants. Angela still feels her chest tighten when she sees uniforms. But they eat their breakfast. They pour their syrup. They stay. The body camera footage from that morning has been viewed millions of times. It's taught in police academies as an example of discriminatory enforcement. It's shown in law schools as evidence of civil rights violations. It's discussed in training sessions about implicit bias. Officer Keith Morrison activated his body camera that morning out of habit, confident he was responding appropriately to a legitimate complaint. He forgot that the camera doesn't just record what officers want remembered. It records the truth, and sometimes the truth is that an officer walks into a diner and sees a peaceful family eating breakfast and decides they don't belong. The camera captured that truth, and that truth cost him everything.